Alright, hello citizens of the Nigelverse. It's Nigel here once again, and welcome back to Labyrinth. So, a couple things before we begin. First of all, I hope you guys enjoy my Christmas sweater here. And yes, it is as warm as it looks. The second thing is that I have an announcement about Tales from Labyrinth and System Shock Radio to an extent, but that will be at the end of the video. And the last thing is, this episode is going to be kind of a pseudo part 1, because both Dixie, Tales from Labyrinth and System Shock Radio are going to be Christmas themed this year, because Christmas is right around the corner. It's on Monday. Man, it's hard to believe. Not only are we just about at Christmas, but also at the end of the year already. It's insane to me. But nevertheless, I got some poetry for you guys, some Christmas poems this time. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So this first one is called This Christmas. And of course, before we begin, if this is your first episode of Not a Dixie Tales from Labyrinth, welcome, and if not, welcome back. But if you're new here, what I do, for the most part, with some exceptions, is I read poetry. I read poetry written by myself and written from other people. And we have both here in this Christmas holiday season. And of course, wishing you all a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays if you don't celebrate Hated Christmas, of course. But without further ado, let's get right into it. This first one's called This Christmas. This Christmas, let's not fret over small things or worry about what we did and didn't get. Let's enjoy each other in the holiday season and as we show love at Christmas time. Yeah, of course, Christmas time is supposed to be about togetherness, about family, and about celebrating each other for the holidays. And definitely one of my favorite times of the year, not just because of the gifts, but also because there's a real sense of unity, sense of holiday cheer, and togetherness that Christmas brings. So I definitely enjoy Christmas, of course, the Christmas season, with that in mind. This next one, however, is called Winter. The white flurry cloaking the sky, temperatures going down further and further, ice on the streets and in the road, Christmas music blaring through the streets, Salvation Army bells, caroling, warm food and warmer spirits, as it's wintertime yet again. So, I think this one I read not too long ago on the channel as well, but it's even more appropriate this time around because the snow actually is here this time around. We got some snow on Monday. It's starting to melt up a little bit, but otherwise, yeah. So, showing off the different aspects of the wintertime, that being, of course, the snow, the low temperatures. I haven't really seen a whole lot of caroling this year, which is interesting, but also, of course, the Salvation Army bell. As people have the Salvation Army buckets that you can donate to, of course. Just again, leaning into that holiday time, just really showcasing the holidays and that spirit of Christmas and just holly jolly cheer throughout. Definitely evident there, and really encapsulating that not just Christmas time, but also really the entire winter, because even without the Christmas stuff, sadly the snow's still going to be there, but nevertheless, that's kind of just how it is, especially here in Buffalo. This next one is called Christmas Poem. Snow and cold fills the outside, warm spirits fill the inside, smiles, warm hugs, love in the air, mother to children, lover to lover, gifts, stories, and laughter exchanged as time passes by through the day. All the scrambling, all the price tags, all the joy. It was all worth it to see the smiles. Merry Christmas to all, and to all good night. So this one, actually, I wrote a long time ago, I believe back in 2019. But definitely also encapsulating that Christmas spirit, and really a few different holidays as well, such as kind of alluding to Valentine's Day, which is coming up, of course, but that's not for a couple months, so people get your Valentine's in now. You still got some time, but nevertheless, really just showing even more of that, not just winter time, but that unity that all of the winter holidays bring us, whether it be Christmas or New Year, or Valentine's Day, or any other holiday, of course, that's celebrated. It's just that just even more of that unity through the winter time. Even though it's cold, both our spirits are warm and bright, of course. This next one is called Christmas Trees, and this is by Robert Frost. The city had withdrawn into itself, and left at last the country to the country, when between whirls of snow yet not come to lie, and whirls of foliage not yet laid, there drove a stranger to our yard, who looked at the city, yet did in country fashion in that there. He sat and waited till he drew us out, buttoning coats, to ask him who he was. He proved to be the city come again, to look for something it had left behind, and could not do without and keep its Christmas. He asked if I would sell my Christmas trees, my woods, the young fir balsams. It was like a place where houses all are churches and have spires. I hadn't thought of them as Christmas trees. I doubt if I was tempted for a moment to sell them off their feet, go into cars, and leave the slope behind the house all bare, where the sun shines now no warmer than the moon. I'd hate to have them know if I was. I'd hate to have them know it if I was. Yet more I'd hate to hold my trees except, as others hold theirs or refuse for them, beyond the time of profitable growth. The trial by market everything must come to. I dallied so much with the thought of selling, then whether from mistaken courtesy and fear of seeming short of speech, or whether from hope of hearing good of what was mine, I said, there aren't enough to be worthwhile. I could soon tell how many they would cut. You let me look them over. You could look, but don't expect I'm going to let you have them. Pasture they spring in, some in clumps too close, that lop each other of boughs, but not a few, quite solitary and having equal boughs, all round and round. The latter he nodded yes to, or paused to say beneath some lovelier one, with a buyer's moderation, that would do. I thought so too, but wasn't there to say so. We climbed the pasture on the south, crossed over, and came down on the north. He said 1,000. 1,000 Christmas trees? At what a piece? He felt some need of softening that to me. 1,000 trees would come to $30. Then I was certain. I had never meant to let him have them, never show surprise. But $30 seemed so small beside the extent of pasture I should strip. 3 cents, for that was all they figured out apiece. 3 cents so small beside the dollar friends I should be writing to within the hour, would pay in cities for good trees like those. Regular vestry trees, whole Sunday schools, could hang enough on to pick off enough. 1,000 Christmas trees I didn't know I had, worth 3 cents more to give away than sell, as may be shown by a simple calculation. Too bad I couldn't lay one in a letter. I can't help wishing I could send you one, and wishing you herewith a Merry Christmas. Interesting one there. Here, a bit more of a story in terms of poem form, which I think we've seen a few times within these poems, but sometimes the poems or more so a story. This honestly more in the realm of a short story bit, but pretty much telling about the Christmas trees and about a person wanting to buy a Christmas tree. But our narrator, which may or may not be Robert himself, as we've mentioned before, not quite willing to part with them. And I'm saying, I don't really want to give these away. Kind of almost coming up excuses is, but I'd willing to be paid $30. Now, $30 doesn't sound like a lot by today's standards, but I imagine back then it was a bit more. But it does mention even back then $30 seeming small. For the work of getting the trees and stuff, but really debating whether or not he should sell these trees, whether or not he should give them away. So kind of a bit in that spirit of generosity, but of course using the Christmas trees and the having of the Christmas trees, he's in the back to really drive the narrative of the guy really wanting to buy them. And the person that he's talking to, who, especially towards the end, said he wants to send them one, so he figured, I'll take the tree, I'll send to this other person instead of selling them off. And the guy definitely wanted to buy 1,000 trees. What he was going to do with the tree, he's who knows? But yeah, so interesting story involving some Christmas trees. Whether or not this actually happened to Robert Frost himself, or was a means of creating a Christmas home, who's to really say? But yeah, interesting in that regard. But this last one is called "Now Winter Nights Enlarge," and this is by Thomas Campion. Now winter nights enlarge the number of their hours. In clouds their storms discharge upon the airy towers. Let now the chimneys blaze, and cups overflow with wine. Let wells turn words amaze, with harmony divine. Now yellow waxen lights shall wait on honey love, while youthful revels, masks, and courtly sights, sleep-leading spells remove. This time doth well dispense with lovers' long discourse. Much speech hath some defense, though beauty no remorse. All do not hide all things well. Some measures comely tread, some knotted riddles tell, some poems smoothly read. The summer hath his joys, and winter his delights. It's though love and all his pleasures are but toys, they shorten tedious nights. So Tom is kind of putting his own spin on Christmas and more so the winter time. I'm showing like the chimney. He's being lit. Unfortunately, our chimney is blocked off in my house here. But showing the chimneys. He's really showing like the Christmas time. Kind of sort of those Christmas time traditions. Everybody, of course, has their own Christmas traditions. But showing those and really showing that even though summer does have its the exact line is summer has his joy, so the summertime is nice, but so is the wintertime, and being able to cuddle, be inside and everything for the Christmas time. So, really putting his own take on how he feels about the Christmas time and some of the things going on in the Christmas time. But nevertheless, that is going to do it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload a video so you can see as soon as it drops. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts on this episode and the poems. Did you like to dislike the poems? Did you like to dislike the analysis of the poems? And what is your take on these poems? But an announcement I do have to make, and I'll probably make this again on System Shock Radio. So, this episode, and what we're going to be doing on Saturday for System Shock Radio, I've made an executive decision that that is where we will end off both System Shock Radio and Tales from the Labyrinth, at least for the year. So we'll pick them back up next year, and of course, her episodes 91 through 95 will be reading Macbeth, so we will be doing that, but we'll kick that off next year instead, next week. For the normal slots for System Shock Radio and Tales from the Labyrinth, we will instead do something else. But yeah, so these will be the last episodes for the year or so. As for Tales from the Labyrinth and System Shock Radio, but I'll restate it on System Shock Radio. But as for Tales from the Labyrinth, I will see you all in 2024. Peace.